It's been a few days now since The Incredible True Story came out.
Yes.
How much do you pay attention to what fans are saying? Or are you just like, it's out and I'm happy?
I definitely listen to what fans are saying, because a true fan, no matter what you do, if you do something so different like a Yeezus or this or that than someone's used to, you still support that artist. And that's what I love about my fans. And my fans, like, they support me no matter what I do. So when I do like to know what they think, you know? But a big thing is actually talking to them in person, you know? And I think the biggest thing that they always say, that it always comes down to, is almost like, you got the music, Logic, like you got that, like that's good. What I love about you is your message, you know what I mean? And that to me is something that always resonates.
One of the things that kind of stuck out to me about this album, listening to it, comparing it with the last one at least, it feels a little more like upbeat, a little brighter. And the last one had some darker moments. The last one felt a little more autobiographical.
Yes.
Tell me why you kind of decided to go in that direction and how that maybe reflects where you are.
100%, yeah. At that time, while creating the first album, I was very happy. You know, I was in a very happy place because I had a record deal and I was around people who love me and all these things. But at the same time, I still had to tell that story. So with this album, it's like, surprise, motherfucker. Like, I'm here, like, life is incredible. I want to tell you about how awesome, you know, things are now. For me, it was just like, you know what? I'm going to be me to the fullest. I'm just going to put it all out there, write this crazy script about these two guys, and just have fun. And they're either going to love it or hate it. But as I've always said, I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not.
You have Big Lenbo on the album.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool thing, you know, knowing a little bit about your story and your relationship with him. What made you decide to do that and do that now?
I know it's kind of crazy to put essentially a no-name feature on your first single for your sophomore album. It's kind of crazy. But I think the song speaks for itself. It's such a good song, you know, and people really received it well. Like, yo, you can't tell a painter not to paint the sky green because the sky's blue. Like, no, don't do it green, because it's like, no, are you kidding me? Like, he should do whatever he wants, you know? He's a person who creates, you know? And that's how I felt about involving somebody like Lenny, you know, on this record, Big Lenbo, because it came so left field, but I knew it was gonna do good, and I knew I liked it. And that's all that matters. If you like what you do, what does it matter, you know?
Is that something that you've struggled with before, someone saying no, you know, don't paint the sky green, or have you always sort of had that philosophy?
Everybody and anybody out there, there's so many people out there who tell you what to do, even fans. You know,
have you given into it in the past, you think?
Yeah, there's like a yes and a no there. Like, I've found myself in the studio going, we gotta make a radio hit. I think every artist had. Yeah. We gotta make a radio hit, we gotta make a radio hit. And then you like work and you're like, nah, this is, you know what, I'm not even gonna release this. And it's not because it's bad. It's because it's the same beat that so-and-so used on the radio. And it's the same, you know, it's the same type. And it's like, you know what, man, like, I can sell records like Big Boys with singles. You know what I mean? Like pop stars, and that's crazy. And I'm doing it all because and without that, and I'm just making music. And you know, I will say this, not if, but like when that single does come, when the radio stuff does come, it's gonna come when it should, and I'm not gonna be trying to do something for a certain demographic. I'm just gonna be me, and they're gonna accept that because they're gonna have no choice. That's the cool thing about it.
I mean, you were mentioning your relationship with your fans and how important that is in getting you here, and I've seen that, you know, over the last few years.
Yep.
And I know you were just going around and playing your album for them. I'm curious what you took from those experiences. What surprised you about it? What excited you?
I think the biggest thing that I took from the whole experience is that it's so much bigger than the music. They're like the reason I listen to you, the reason I love your music, the reason I wear your shirts and scream your name every second of every minute is because of your message of peace, love, positivity, and following your dreams, you know? Yeah, I'm not the first artist to go to people's houses, but I cannot recall an entire tour across the United States of America just to go see some fans. Right. So that's pretty cool.
One of the things that I saw online that is sort of related to that, but that's been interesting about this album is, I know you don't read the blogs, but in comments and on Twitter about, the, you know, Contact Beat sounds like amazing, or, you know, this sounds like Drake's flow, right? And so some people are like, oh, he's biting. Whereas other people are like, no, you know, hip hop has always been borrowing. Logic is paying homage. I'm curious how you respond to both sides of that.
People have, yeah, of course, you know, but I wear everything on my sleeve. I'm an open-minded person. That comes back to, you can't paint like this. You can't do like that. And when I have Big Daddy Kane, Ali Shaheed Muhammad from Tribe Called Quest, the RZA, Nas, you know, all these people telling me you're doing great, you respect this culture, you're white, hip hop, and music is beautiful. When people say those things to me, all that other shit is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Those people aren't in, you know, every person that I've ever met and shook their hands, it's been nothing but love. I think real recognizes real. Like, I'm not here to play this rapper game like I'm cooler than anybody or this or that. No, man. Listen to any rapper and tell me they don't have something that's inspired by another one of their peers at the end of the day. But that, to me, I don't give a shit. I love it, and I've got nothing but love from those around me.
So, no, that's why I thought it was so interesting, because, you know, one side people are defending you, saying, yeah, no, of course, you know, rappers are influenced by everything, from sci-fi to, you know, whatever. Totally. On the other side, it's like, nah, you know, yeah, he's rapping dope, but it sounds like X, Y, Z. Yeah. So it was just interesting to see them so passionately pitted. Yeah,
which is crazy. But we're also in a generation of, we're not looking at things to see what we like about them. We like to point. We're trying to find something to critique, and that's because everybody with a Twitter account thinks they write for Rolling Stone or MTV.
Right. Yeah. You know, you were talking about how some of the mainstream radio, that stuff will come when it comes. But I'm also thinking back to the first album on the last track, and you're saying, you know, visionary. We got the internet, Def Jam. That's radio. That's TV. Yeah. And I didn't necessarily hear you on the radio that much, you know what I mean? So are you looking back? Are you disappointed about that? Are you saying, hey guys, like, why aren't you pushing my record?
No, I don't think I'm disappointed. I think things take time, and if my objective was to be the next coolest mainstream rapper, I would have been upset. But my objective was to sell records with real music, and ultimately just making music that people enjoy and love. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so to be able to do the numbers that I'm doing, even though it ain't about that shit, you know, but it's like, even though I'm able to do that without, you know, essentially that push from last year or whatever it is. But don't get me wrong, people, they work hard. Everybody's working hard.
Given that, do you feel like being part of the major label systems is still benefiting you?
Oh, 100%. Oh, without a doubt.
In what ways?
I mean, monetarily, I think. I think monetarily is literally one of the biggest things. And then obviously distribution and things like that. I mean, everybody in that building they're awesome, man. It is like a family over there. They're good people, you know what I'm saying? But Visionary Music Group, like, this is what we do. We do this. You know, the marketing, the this, the that, that's what we do. That's our, you know, Def Jam's, you know, they're doing a great job. And like I said, for me, it's all about the progression and working together. But yeah, you know, studio time, they pay for the studio, even though I recorded this whole album in my house. But yeah, it has its benefits. And one of them is the people there in general, just having relationships, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're good people, they're great people. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about the business, and it's amazing.
So, I mean, Under Pressure, it was a very personal album. Some of the people that we met on there were, you know, your father, your brother. Yeah. What are your relationships like with them at this point for you know, fans who really got engaged with that album?
It's funny, I saw my dad the other day. We kind of had a discussion and just about things. And, you know, he's been through a lot in his life, and I wish no ill will upon anybody. And me and my dad, some of my family members, we just don't see eye to eye on things. I said what I said on Under Pressure because I needed to get off my chest, because I needed to vent, you know, instead of being angry and taking it out on somebody or holding it inside. Like, that's why I make the music I make, you know? And hopefully people can relate to that. But at this moment, you know, I just got married like 2 weeks ago.
Congrats.
Thank you. I'm focused on my family. I'm focused on building my family and working very hard to be able to support the children one day I hope to have, you know.
Did Under Pressure itself put a strain on some of those relationships?
No.
Or is just things, you know, that are
no.
deeper
I mean,
if
anybody felt a certain way about that shit, I didn't give a f***. Because it's like, that's the shit I went through as a little ass boy. I went through that shit as I saw some of the most horrendous shit as a child that no child should ever have to see, and I wrote about it. I didn't go out and kill somebody. I didn't go out and sell drugs. I didn't get locked up. I didn't, you know, beat women. I didn't take out my frustration in negative ways that most other people tend to do in that situation. I put it in my art. And if anybody feels any type of way, I don't give a shit. And I hope that doesn't sound like an ass. I don't care, man. It's art. It's freedom, you know?
You're about to hit the road again eventually, I'm sure. What is that gonna be like now? You're a married man. Does she come on the road with you?
Yeah, she's awesome, man. That's the reason we got married. The reason I asked this woman to marry me is because she went through a whole tour, was good. Went through another tour, was good. Went through a press tour, was good. Went through the album release, was good. Went through another world tour, was good. Like, she could deal with it, being on the road, being off the road. Like, she was just, it was amazing. So that's why we got married. And yeah, I think it's just a personal thing. Like, this is our life, you know. It's not like she follows me around, you know. She's a musician, she does her own things as well. She's an incredible singer. And yeah, it's like, this is what we do. Like, we're not, our life isn't a picket fence and, you know, 2 9-to-5s that we drive to and come home. Like, our life, our work is that we're blessed enough to be able to tour across the world together, and she can join me. And then there's gonna be a day when she's doing her thing really great, and I'm gonna be tagging along with her, you know? So it ain't about that, it's about equality. But she does great, she does amazing.
You guys have a puppy, right?
Yeah, dog. His name's Fry. His name is Philip J. Fry. I named him after Fry from Futurama.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you get him?
Okay, I got him like 7 months ago, and she didn't want a dog. She hates dogs, but she loves him now. She's so in love with him.
She came around.
Yeah, that's my man. That's my family.
And so what about, is he gonna come with you when you hit the road?
I don't know. I was thinking about that. Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to get him one of those like permits where he can fly on planes and shit, and he doesn't have to go underneath. We'll see.
That you need him like for a special, like he needs to be.
Yeah, like he needs to, like I have like.
You need a doctor's note, I think, for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I should just bring back the fear of flying and be like, oh, my heart.
I think it's on City of Stars. You talk about you got an email from Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
How does something like that happen? What did he say? What happened from there?
Rick Rubin heard my album. No ID shot me a text, just shot me his email. I was like, hey, Rick wants to say hello or whatever. So I emailed him, and he congratulated me on the album's release for Under Pressure, and we emailed for like almost a year trying to get up. So I went to my man's mansion in Malibu. Slight flex right there. That was crazy. And I like took my shoes off and shit. It was very like, hey man, just like relax, man.
Right.
And he just said, I think you're really talented, and I think you're really great at what you do, and keep doing what you do. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, my man created Def Jam. Like, are you serious? Like, when I have people like that, or Big Daddy Kane, or so-and-so saying things like, keep doing what you're doing, like, you know, I'm a fan of you. These are people who raised me, you know? When my father was never there, I listened to their music to learn about life. And they're essentially, when they say that, I know it might sound a little cheesy, but like, it's like, good job, son. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So that's what I took from it.
Wild.
Yeah.
City of Stars is also kind of like a breakup song, right?
With hip hop.
To hip hop.
Yeah.
What?
In a sense, it's more like the culture, like the negative.
Right. Yeah. Some of the stuff that you've been talking about. What made you wanna write a song from that perspective and that angle?
I don't know, man. I was actually kind of nervous about it because I was like, man, I'm like extra singing on this. I wonder how people are gonna.
The whole first half, you're kind of.
Yeah, and I remember I sent it to my manager because he's just a hip hop head, like Pusha and Fab, and like he just. And I was like, oh, I wonder how this is gonna go. And he loved it. He was like, man, this came from your heart, your soul. You know, it was really special, and I think people are gonna love it. So I wrote it from my heart. I love hip hop. Hip hop is gorgeous. Hip hop is beautiful. You know, all the people that I just named, you know, that are in my phone, in my Rolodex, are the reason I love hip hop. It's just the subculture of nobody really respecting each other. And I don't even mean musicians. It's more so just like the listeners thinking they know everything, or do this or do that, or f you, or this, or whatever the case may be. You just let all that go and just. I was better. You know, I know that you think this song is for you, you know, and it's like I was doing better or whatever long before you, you know. So that's just kind of my take on it.
You were mentioning that you sort of came up with some of the concept for this album when you were mixing the last one.
Yeah.
Have you started even brewing about the next one? Like, I mean, I know your mind is constantly going.
All I'll say is I'm always working, man.
Yeah.
You know, I work hard, I'm always working, so who knows. But I know this one's going to be out for a long time, you know, because there's so much on this album, there's so much I want to say, so many videos I want to shoot, so many remixes I want to do.
We didn't get many videos from the last album. Are we going to get more from this?
Yeah, 100%. You know, and I've begun directing and writing treatments, so like now I'm kind of doing things myself with the help of my DP, Nick Mahar, and Scott, my producer, and just the whole team, and so yeah.
And there are particular remixes that you already know you want to do?
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, like certain people that you want?
Oh yeah.
Any wheels in motion, anything you can?
It's gonna be tight. That's it, it's gonna be crazy.
Cool. Listen, man, well, we're excited that the album's out, and thank you for coming by, man.
Thank you,
Good to see you again.
Appreciate it. Flex! Oh, I didn't look at the camera, I looked at the monitor. Don't cut it off yet. Don't cut it off yet, keep it going. Okay, cut that shit off.